If you've been waiting for prices to drop before you buy a home in Hamilton, this might be your last chance. Prices aren't falling anymore. They've started to level off, and if you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for some sort of crash, then you could miss the window entirely. As of right now, inventory is still high, and a lot of homes are still sitting on the market without selling, but that could change fast. And it won't last forever. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what's happening in Hamilton's real estate market as of July 2025. My name is Steve Lopresti. I'm a real estate agent here in Hamilton, Ontario, and every week I help first-time buyers to navigate the home buying process and not making any mistakes. So if you have any questions at all, you can feel free to reach out to me at any point. My contact info is down in the description. Each month I post one of these videos where I go over the local numbers, not just to overwhelm you with a bunch of boring statistics, but so that you can understand exactly what's happening in the market and you can make an informed decision. In this video, I'll be breaking down what's happening with buyer demand, what's going on with the inventory, pricing, and how all of it affects your ability to buy a home. All right, now without further ado, let's jump into the numbers. Like I mentioned, the prices in Hamilton are starting to flatten. In June of 2025, the average price was $821,000. If we compare that to the same time last year, it's only 0.8% lower. And if we compare that to May of this year, the price drop was almost 5% lower than the same time the previous year. So prices are still falling, but the amount that they're going down is starting to flatten. This signals that we could be hitting the bottom of the market, and once we do, you don't want to wait until prices start coming back up before you decide to start your home search. So this is your warning signal. Prices right now are still relatively low and they've been dropping for a while. We're starting to see them taper off and start to flatline, but we still have tons of inventory on the market, so the chances of you finding a great deal and having leverage is still very high. And like I mentioned, this window won't last forever. It could even be starting to close. Now, the amount of total listings that we have on the marketplace right now is about 1,274, which is almost identical to the amount that we had at this same time last year. So it hasn't really gone up, it's maintained the same number. Now, when we compare that to the amount of homes that actually sold, it's about 5.8% lower than the same time last year, with about 500 homes being sold in July. Now, with only 500 total sales, that marks the slowest that we've seen the market for July all the way back to 2010. Not only that, the average days on market is up 33%, which is just the amount of time that it takes for a listing to sell. Now, why this matters is when listings outpace the sales that we're seeing, buyers have the leverage, not the sellers. So it's great for you if you're trying to buy. If you're trying to sell, maybe not so much. But if more buyers start to realize this and start to come back into the market, or if they lower rates in the fall, then this is not going to last and prices and demand is going to start rising again. There's this old saying where time in the market beats timing the market. There's also another one where it's the best time to buy real estate was 5 years ago. The second best time is today. If you're trying to speculate as to what's going to happen in the market, maybe in fall or next spring, then the chances of getting it right are relatively slim. The truth is, we don't really know what's going to happen in the market, and I'd much rather take advantage of the market that we have today because I know exactly what's going on today. I don't know what's going to be happening in 6 months from now, but I know what we have today, and if you're a buyer, the market of today is very favorable for you. Could it perhaps become more favorable in the future? Maybe. Could it perhaps become less favorable for you in the future? Also maybe. We don't know. So honestly, you're better off just taking advantage of the market that we have today while it's still in your favor. Now, if buying a home in this market seems a little overwhelming to you, especially if it's your first time, I put together a free resource specifically for first-time buyers. It's called the First-Time Homebuyer Survival Guide. You can check it out down in the description. It just walks you through the entire process so that you know exactly what you're doing and which mistakes to avoid. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. All right, now let's zoom in on these specific neighborhoods because some areas are reacting differently than others. Some are still cooling off and other ones are showing signs that they're already starting to heat back up. In Hamilton Center, we had the average price still drop by about 8.4%, But the amount of sales went up 26%, meaning that demand is starting to pick back up in that area. Now on the Hamilton Mountain, we're seeing prices are holding steady at around the $730,000 range, but they are sitting, the listings that are on the market are sitting for a little bit longer than they used to be. So if you're interested in that area, that means that there's some sellers out there who want to sell or having trouble selling, which means they're more likely going to be open to negotiating their price. Now, Stony Creek actually saw a pretty dramatic rise in its prices. It's up 11.4% year over year, which shows that there's very strong demand in this area, and a lot of buyers are starting to be interested in that, and it's driving prices up. This is all signaling that the market is starting to wake back up. So again, if you're a buyer, you don't want to wait until you start hearing the words bidding war again to start your home search. You want to get ahead of it. Now, if you're hearing all this and you're thinking, okay, well, maybe I should get the process started, well, then here's what I'd recommend you do. The first thing that you should do is to get pre-approved right away, even if you're 6 months out. So it locks in your rate, it gives you clarity as to what you can afford, and it prepares you so that if you do find a place that you like and you want to put an offer in, you don't miss out on it because you didn't get your pre-approval done earlier. When you're buying a house, getting pre-approved is always the very first step that you should be taking. And again, even if you feel like you're not quite ready now, it'll help you to prepare so that you can get yourself in a position to be ready. It's also completely free to do it. You can either do it through your bank or through a mortgage broker, but both of them will not charge you anything. So there's no reason to not do it. Go pause this video, go get your pre-approval, and then come back to it when you're done. I'll wait here for a bit for you. All right, did you do it? All right, perfect. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is pick the neighborhoods that you want to keep an eye on. Now, you probably have a general idea of what neighborhoods that you want to live in. So what you want to do is look at those and look at which ones have had their prices dip the most. These are the ones where you'll find the greatest opportunity and you'll have the highest negotiating leverage. The next thing you want to do is to focus on listings that have been sitting on the market for a while. Don't make the common mistake of assuming that a home that's sitting on the market for a long time has something wrong with it. Most of the time, the reason why a home sits for a long time on the market is just because of the price. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the house itself. And in the off chance that there actually is a problem with the house, that's what a home inspection is for. It will uncover that for you. Now, focusing on listings that have been sitting for a while will give you some extra negotiating leverage because the sellers have been worn down by the market and they'll be more likely to look at your offer, even if it's a little lower than maybe what they were expecting. Since it's been sitting for a while, they don't really have too many other options, so they're more likely to actually work with your offer instead of somebody else's because they don't have anybody else. And the fourth thing, I just want to reiterate, don't try to time the market. It's not about trying to time the market. It's about finding value that works for your budget. Most of the time, whenever someone tries to time the market, they end up regretting it. So don't be that person. Find a house that works for your budget today. Get yourself pre-approved so that you know exactly what you can afford, what your monthly payments will look like, and find some value today. I guarantee you'll be super happy that you did that in the next 5, 10, 15 plus years. And if it dips very slightly over the next couple months after you bought it, it doesn't matter because I always recommend that you buy real estate for the long term anyways, so short-term fluctuations don't matter. So just to recap really quickly, we have prices are starting to flatline. They're not falling as dramatically as they did before. We still have tons of inventory on the market, which means that demand is relatively low. And all this means that buyers still have leverage, but that window could be closing fast. Now, if you're feeling unsure about where to start with this information or what your budget will get you or how to make a smart offer in this market, then you can feel free to reach out to me at any time. My contact info is down in the description. You can book a free call with me using the link and we'll walk you through your entire process to buy a home. We'll make sure that we find you something that fits your goals. Also, don't forget to download the free First-Time Homebuyer Survival Guide if you just want a comprehensive breakdown of the entire process, start to finish. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and found some value in it, don't forget to hit that button over there to subscribe to the channel. And then also you can check out this video over here for some more Hamilton real estate tips. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.